Okay.
You know how, or your makeup people taught you very well how to cover a black eye with makeup. I would
Yes.
love to hear the story
Sure.
and how you can cover a black eye for future
So,
references, because I'm very clumsy.
well, I hope that you don't sustain a black eye anytime in the future, but just in case you do, I do have some tips. So, before the tips, the story is this. So, when we first got word that we were going to be doing the show, the number one thing I was concerned about is the wake up call. 4 a.m. is no joke, and I am not a morning person. So, leading into the first show, I was like, okay, for a week, I am going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, even though I don't need to. I need to train myself so that when we debut this show, I'm ready to go. I'm my freshest self, which it turned out to be anything but that. But that weekend leading in to the show was Labor Day. So all my friends, my family, everyone in my life, they go away for Labor Day weekend. And I'm like, you know what? I'm staying in New York. I'm going to stay in New York, get up at 4 a.m. I'm going to get in my new routine. So everyone's gone. I use this as an opportunity to deep clean my place. I'm like, okay, we are going to really lock in and we are going to start this new job and this new schedule on the freshest of foots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm deep cleaning my apartment, and I live in a very small New York City apartment. And my couch is against the wall, and then there's a chair kind of on the side of it. And in between that, I have an air purifier. So I have the air purifier plugged in, and then I'm vacuuming, and I have the other plug on top of the air purifier. So I'm doing my thing, I'm vacuuming, and I'm trying to vacuum underneath the couch. And I am a very clumsy person. When Chris, Evan, and I sat down for the very first time, we went around the horn and we were like, all right, quick, what do we need to know about each other? Like, tell us one thing that we need to know, one thing to expect, one thing that you don't ever want to have to really get into. Just we need to kind of really get to know each other at rapid fire here. And I told them, I was like, guys, I'm very clumsy.
Okay.
I'm going to hurt at some point in our working relationship together. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm just warning you. When I first met Evan for lunch, I hit my head on a lamp at a restaurant. So I had already proven that to be true. So anyway, I'm vacuuming. I trip over the air purifier cord. As I fall forward, my coffee table is right there in front of me. There's a drinking glass on the table. As I'm falling, before I can steady myself, I hit my face on the drinking glass on the table, and I bust my eye. I know people are like, that's the most ridiculous story. That's exactly what happened. So it's like a half moon right here of a cut / a bruise. I touch my face. I feel blood. I look in the mirror. It's all red. I FaceTime my mom and I'm like, I'm crying. I'm like, Mom, I just fell. And she's like, oh my God, your face. So as we're talking, it's becoming redder. You can see the bruise start to develop. This was 2 days before the start of the show. This is my national television debut.
Yes.
I've never been on national television before. So I Google it. I put a lot of ice on it. I'm like, how do I get rid of this? I go and I get the arnica gel. I'm trying my best to minimize it before the first day. So day one, it was not gone. It had really developed. It was not only black and blue, it was like that weird shade of green.
Yeah.
And so I had to go into hair and makeup pretty early on day one and be like, hi, I'm Michelle. It's so great to meet you. Really excited to work with you. I have a black eye. Can you help me? And they covered it up. You would never have been able to tell had we not talked about it and you zoomed in. But what I learned in covering it up, it's a lot of color correcting. So like to cover things up, it's not just your basic foundation or your basic
Be the opposite color, right? Like
it's green that they put on that helps offset and kind of minimize the color. And then they just spackled it right on. And you do a lot of setting powder over it, and then a lot of contour on other parts of your face to distract from the monstrosity that is your black eye. So again, I hope you never have to deal with it, but if you do, you can call. I've got some.
I think it's just good to know for like whatever else could happen.
Well, it was kind of great that it did happen that way because I was like, you know what? A, this is me. I warned you that I'm clumsy and that this was going to happen. And B, this is probably the worst thing that's ever going to happen. On day one, me showing up with a black eye, I was not like heading into it. I was really nervous about the beginning of the show just because it was such a massive opportunity. And I wanted to hold up my end of the bargain and be great for my teammates. But then I was like, this is by far the worst thing that could ever happen.
Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way.
It's just out of the way. Anything else is all up from here. And it ended up being a great first show, and it's been a great first year.
I like how maybe they were like, "Oh, I'm sure you're clumsy." And you walk in like, "No, seriously."
I have a
"Oh,
self-inflicted black
I'm
eye.
sure she's clumsy." No, no, no. Like,
I told you guys. I warned
I
you.
don't think you understand.
Yep.